Now, Isaiah Sharp with the Idaho News 6 forecast.
A cold night at the Village at Meridian. Temperatures just sitting right above the teens. With this wind that we're experiencing, though, probably going to make it feel like teens. Not too many people walking around. I haven't seen anybody out here, and I don't blame them. Cool conditions are going to continue on going into the rest of this month. Another cool place up at Bogus Basin. Kelly D. Foster sending this one in, hitting some blues, doing a phenomenal job as well, capturing this beautiful shot from the top of Bogus Basin. Love seeing the rings on top of that as well. I got to go to Bogus Basin pretty recently. Got to celebrate with one of our producers. Happy birthday, Danny, to you. And if you've got some phenomenal photos that you'd like to send in, just like Kelly sent in, please go to our website, Be Seen on Idaho News 6. There's a tab right at the top. You click on it, submit your photo, and it might end up making air. And I'd love to see more phenomenal shots of this and some phenomenal shots of the snow. One place that is seeing a lot of snow is New Orleans. Yeah, not your usual per this time of year that sees a lot of snow activity, but you can see a couple of power trucks passing on through, hopefully restoring some power as these storms passing on over have knocked out a little bit in the southern part of the United States. Pretty impressive. This is the first time since the 1800s, 1895 actually, that New Orleans has seen a storm like this pass on through. So fairly historic that this is happening. Unfortunately, we're not going to be experiencing anything like this. Take a look at what they're looking at right now. Georgia right now seeing a lot of activity. On top of that, rain snow mixes over northern Florida too. Warmer conditions just to the south of them. And then, man, a really cool cold front passing on through. We've got a cold front moving through as well, but not a lot of precipitation, unfortunately. I mentioned in kind of last week, National Weather Service talking about a backdoor cold front, and that's what we're seeing once again, where the backside of this cold front passing on through is hitting us with all of the cool air, none of the precipitation, and that's the reason why we're getting the weather that we're getting. Beautiful skies, which is wonderful. The sunshine keeps us nice and warm, but when it comes to precipitation, we're not going to be seeing too much going into the rest of this month. Potentially into February, we're going to have to wait until it shows up. Very slight chances expected into the mountain ranges, about a 20% chance up there. National Weather Service saying 5 to 15% chance of a sprinkling, nothing that's going to accumulate. And that's about as much as we're going to see going into the rest of January. Clear skies expected. And then I mentioned that potential warm up going into February. Here's a high pressure ridge. And when these low pressure systems get pushed up because of it, we get warmer weather. And so quite the peculiar winter up to this point. We saw most of the snow happen in December at the very beginning of the year. But dry January continuing on for us, and going into the rest of February, that's probably what it's going to look like. It's not going to stop those temperatures from feeling really cool. Take a look at what we've seen up to this point. -14 in Stanley, 0 in Ketchum, teens up here in the Treasure Valley, single digits down in the Magic Valley. We are going to see a slight warm up going into the rest of this week, but nothing too much. Cold conditions across the board, mid-30s sitting into the teens. 40 degrees over in Vail is going to be the warmest. Broken clouds expected. Going into the western central mountains, 0 degrees as the overnight low for McCall. 20s expected for them, 30s everywhere else. A little bit warmer in Riggins, Idaho, sitting at 44. Clear skies expected for them, so it's going to keep it nice and warm. But we're going to see just a smidge of a warm up, nothing too crazy. 20s are going to turn into those low 20s, unfortunately, on Saturday, but then getting back into the 30s. So at least a slight uptick in temperatures is expected for the Treasure Valley region. We're going to be expecting just a little bit of warm up as well. Taking a look at what we're going to be seeing. 37s expected Thursday and Friday. Going to be sticking consistently into those mid-30s, potentially into the 20s overnight lows.